And for me, that was just a huge part of my life, working with athletes and being an athlete and being competitive. So I got into the sports performance industry. I was in Cincinnati doing speed, agility, strength, and conditioning, where I met my former business partner at the gym we were working at. We went out on our own and opened our own gym for 7 years, which is still up and running and doing great. And from there, we were about, in Wilmington, Ohio, we were about 45 minutes from Elite FTS. And I actually ended up buying a used monolift off of the floor of the S4 compound. And when I was up there, I was getting ready for the XPC meet. So I ended up talking to Matt Goodwin, and they had a couple guys competing, and they were looking for someone to come squat with them. So that's how I got my foot in the door. And after the meet, I just figured I would keep coming back till somebody kicked me out, and never got kicked out. So even though I do coach for a living, my log on Elite FTS was always a athlete training log. I did from time to time incorporate some stuff that I just thought was really cool or beneficial with my athletes that I work with on my training log, and I've always got a lot of positive feedback from that. I had a 50-50 business partner, and then 2 daughters growing up. My parents are retired, so I moved back to Northeast Ohio to be closer to family, and went out on my own, opened my own gym, and it has been a great experience, growing every day, very successful so far, thankfully. So my whole life, the only sport I really cared about or wanted to play was baseball. I played from 5 years old through high school, through college, was lucky enough to coach college baseball. And I can still remember when I was done playing college baseball, I was in the weight room having this conversation with one of my training partners, and I needed something to compete in. I was an athlete my whole life, very competitive, and he convinced me to sign up for a powerlifting meet the next month, and for me, that was it. Once I had my first meet, I just thought it was awesome. It was a great experience for me, and wanted to continue to have a reason to train, a goal to push towards, and a reason to compete. I work with everybody from 6-year-old kids, 8-year-old kids just getting off the couch that the parents just want them to be more active and healthier, up to my most successful client was an NHL first-round draft pick. He was team captain of Team USA, 18 and under, won a world gold medal, 20 and under, world gold medal, 22 and under, another world gold medal. And so to have athletes at both ends of the spectrum is awesome. I've been doing this long enough now where some of these kids who started in 3rd grade are now seniors in high school and looking to win a state championship that they've talked about since they saw kids in my gym that they looked up to when they were in 3rd grade, and these high school kids winning championships. And so that's cool to see the evolution of these athletes and see them progress and turn in from kids to men and great people, and that's definitely the coolest part of this job. So at my gym, we have 3 separate training groups. We have a youth group, which is, the goal is just to build a solid foundation. They still do speed work, agility, they do body weight strength movements, they do conditioning work, but it's very different than our middle school group, which is very different than our high school group. With our high school and college group, we run kind of a modified conjugate variation, a lot of similar stuff that we did here when I trained on the weekends. And our high school college groups I absolutely love and 100% bought in to rotating specialty bars, bands, chains, and it makes it so easy if they've trained through the years and moved up from the youth group to the junior high group to the high school group, because they already have an amazing foundation and can come in and jump right into that group with not missing a beat. Despite being a coach and really advocating the importance of warming up and mobility and flexibility and taking care of yourself, that was something for a while I definitely neglected. And I was warming up deadlifting one day, and I think I might have been at 405, and I wanted to pull 700 that day. And I got about 90% of the way up, and I realized real quick, I was like, oh, I just got hurt. And, for 8 months, that was it for me. And I came back and was very, very conscientious of doing my warm-ups, doing my mobility, stretching, and taking care of myself. And, hopefully that was a good life lesson. Quit being so lazy and, do the little things right and take care of yourself. Well, business-wise, something that it took me a long, long time to grasp. And one of the best things about training here was just talking business, training life with Dave. I got so much phenomenal advice that took a little while to set in. This is the first year, I would say, I entrusted a lot of my business to one of my coaches. And I was a little more hands-off this year, and he trained a lot of my athletes and did a great job. So I spent a lot more time with family, a lot more time this summer at my kids' sporting events, and that's something it took me years for Dave's advice to sink in, because I definitely like to have control of every aspect of it. So to be a little bit more hands-off and pass that control off was finally a really, really good experience for me. As I've been doing this, coaching a lot longer, and now having kids and raising kids, definitely without a doubt the most important thing to me once was just creating great athletes, seeing kids win championships, achieve their athletic goals. But now I've gotten a lot of calls and letters from parents and former athletes just telling what an impact you've had in their life, how you've changed them as a person. And without a doubt, being able to change people's lives that way is a million times more rewarding and beneficial, and has changed kind of who I am as a person as well. And that's just what I want for my girls growing up, to be able to be that person for them too.
Awesome. Great. I'm glad that we were able to get through
Yep.
some things that we regularly wouldn't.
I know.